Hello students, in this video we discuss about the new topic homeostasis. Homeostasis. Before we start homeostasis, let's discuss about some basic concepts. First is what is fluid? What is fluid? Fluid is a liquid substances. Fluid is a liquid substances and the fluid is the composed of water molecules, iron and other substances. Okay, this fluid is present within the cell. Okay, so this is the cell and the fluid is present within the cell called the intracellular fluid. Intracellular fluid. Intra means inside. Okay, and the abbreviated form is ICF. The fluid is surround the cell. The fluid is surround the cell called extracellular fluid. Extracellular fluid. Extra means outside. But the abbreviated form is extracellular ECF. Okay. The tissues made up of many cells. Okay. And between the two cells there is a narrow space. Okay. There is a narrow space between the two cells. So this between the two cells there is a narrow space and this narrow space present the fluid and this fluid is called the interstitial fluid. Interstitial fluid. Inter means between. Okay, so this is intracellular fluid, extracellular fluid and interstitial fluid. Okay, so this is the blood vessel. Okay, this is the blood vessel and the extracellular fluid present within the blood vessels called blood plasma. Blood plasma. The extracellular fluid present within the blood vessels called blood plasma. This is the lymphatic vessel. Lymphatic vessel. The extracellular fluid present within the lymphatic vessels called lymph. Called lymph. Okay, so this is the joint and between the joint there is a extracellular fluid and this extracellular fluid called synovial fluid. Synovial fluid. The extracellular fluid surround the brain and spinal cord. Surround the brain and spinal cord called cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebrospinal fluid. The extracellular fluid present within the vitreous body called the vitreous humor and present within the cornea called the aqueous humor. So this is the eye structure. Okay. So the next is what is external environment. External environment means the outside the body or surrounding. And what is internal environment? Internal environment means the inside the body and actually the internal environment means the extracellular fluid. Okay, this extracellular fluid. Okay, so extracellular fluid there are two types. First is this extracellular fluid. Okay, so the fluid is present between the cell called the interstitial fluid and the fluid surround the cell. The fluid surround the cells called the blood plasma, lymph, synovial fluid, cerebrospinal fluid, etc. etc. Okay, so blood plasma, synovial fluid, etc. Okay, so this is the extracellular fluids. Okay, so let's take a one example. So first, this is the blood vessel. Okay, this is the blood vessel, and within the blood vessel, blood plasma is present. Okay, and I'm taking only this part. Okay, taking only this part. This part represent the 100 ml of blood. What represent? This part represent only 100 ml of blood, and this is the 100 ml of blood present the 70 to 110 milligram of glucose molecule. Glucose molecule. Okay. Okay, so on 70 to 110 milligram of glucose molecule is present in the 100 ml of the blood. Okay, so what happen when the glucose molecule is less than 70 or more than 110 milligram of glucose molecule in 100 ml of blood? So your internal environment is changed and there are many health issues problem. Okay, so if your glucose level is less than 70, for example 60 or the 55 glucose molecule milligram of the glucose molecule in 100 ml of the blood, so your internal environment is changed. Your internal environment is changed, and your internal environment is changed because of the glucose molecule is decreases. So body's ability to sense that you decrease the glucose molecule. So what happens? Body's ability to increase the glucose molecule up to the 70 or between the 70 to 110 milligram of glucose in the 100 ml of blood. Okay, next conditions. What happen when the glucose molecule is greater than 110 milligram, for example 120 130 milligram of glucose molecule in 100 ml of body? Okay, so your internal environment is changed and body's ability to sense your increase the glucose molecule. So next, your body's ability to decrease the glucose molecule up to the 110 or between the 70 to 110 milligram of the glucose molecule in 100 ml of the blood, and this process happening, and this is the process called as the homeostasis. Homeostasis. This is process called as the homeostasis because internal environment is changed, increasing or decreasing of the glucose molecule. Okay, so body's ability back to the normal conditions and maintain the stable conditions in the relatively stable conditions in the internal environment. So this is called as homeostasis. Homeostasis is a dynamic condition. These are dynamic condition. Dynamic conditions means that your glucose molecule, dynamic condition, your glucose molecule is increasing or decreasing in the 100 ml of blood. So body's ability to again or back to the normal condition 70 to 110 milligram of glucose molecule. Okay, and your internal environment is stable condition or maintained condition. Okay, so this is the dynamic conditions, movable. Okay. So let's discuss about definition of homeostasis. Okay, so homeo means sameness and stasis means the standing still. Okay, stasis means standing still. So definition of homeostasis: it is the maintenance of relatively stable conditions in the body's internal environment. Body's internal environment maintain. Okay, so maintenance of relatively stable conditions in the body's internal environment. Okay, maintain the stable conditions in the body's internal environment. This is the homeostasis. Maintaining the volume and composition of body fluid, dilute watery solutions containing dissolved chemicals that are found inside the cell as well as surrounding them. Okay, so this is the homeostasis. That's it for today. Thank you so much.